This is your weekend market review for Sunday, July 20th, 2025. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your weekend market review, Sunday, July 20th, 2025. Summer is creeping by quick, and yeah, there's a lot to talk about. So we know what we've talked about ultimately is that the market seems to be playing this choppiness. The risk reward is to the downside in some names chopness, and some are leading up. Again, as we've always said, ultimately about the summer, that light volume choppy, it can be very difficult. The seasonality of July is typically bullish, but in the overbought conditions, fear and greed up, again, it makes it confusing. And I would say the one thing that I think I see the most people struggling with was this idea of certainty, that if I go short here, it's got to dump. If I go long here, it's got to go up. If it does this, again, their brain takes over. And since they can't handle insecurity, it was more of like just the unconscious of what is, they start bringing absolutes into the table. And that's where you got to be really careful of. And someone who's been guilty of that a billion times, it's part of trading, right? Like the mind really wants to find safety and security. And the reality is right now, with everything going on, there is no security. However, the one thing that I do know is that this, whatever the big beautiful bill, whatever they're calling it, this is going to change the market dynamics, in my opinion, to more upside for people who invest in the United States. It just is. The tax benefits, the 100% depreciation, all the little things, again, are going to bring money back in. And then the tariffs, ultimately, I think that's why they're putting it all together. So you can hate Trump for everything, right? There's a lot of things to not like the dude on, but with this part of this, you can tell it's going to juice the economy in time. We'll see how it works out near term, but again, we shall see. Again, if you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link in the description below. If you'd like to chat, take 30 minutes, Calendly, click on the link. Let's discuss whatever you need. You're looking to buy, sell, invest in real estate? Got it. You get 2 agents for the price of 1. I'd love to help out. Let me know what I can do. If you need help with trading, you're trying to understand what to do in the markets, how to invest, again, because this is an education channel. My goal is to teach and help, not to give you just the answers and you figure it out. Again, you teach a man to fish, right? Versus just give a man to fish. That is the goal here, is to help educate. And last but not least, again, if you're struggling, need help, want to try to embrace your full potential, again, this is the kind of work that I did myself, because I recognize, like, ultimately, I knew how to trade. And as Eric and I love to joke about, trading isn't difficult. It's how you execute, how you handle the uncertainty. It's how your mind acts that leads to your results. And if your account balances don't go up, or you get stuck, or you seem to always be struggling, then it's not the market if you have the education. So I'd love to help out, save a spot, let's chat. Let me know I can help. Follow, like, subscribe, posting on Twitter. You guys know, again, I was watching this Back to Basics Pro versus Novice Cap, showing somebody this. Again, tons of education. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. Again, if you're new to the channel or not, leave a comment. Heart, let me know I can help. Again, if you'd like to donate, links in the description below, or hit the thanks button. Again, it really, every little bit of matter. It just, I show proof. Someone sent me, I think, $20 last week. And I was like, thank you. Again, I appreciate it. If I know you're killing it and you're doing well, think about it. You're getting this education for free. Abundance, share the wealth. Again, I do this because this is for me. Again, what you guys don't recognize, like, this is my time to take notes. This is my time to figure out what I think is going to market do. And I share it with the groups, share it with my, everyone who's following, but also do a little work on the side as well. But this is ultimately what I'm doing, trying to keep it simple. Again, check out thetradingagent.com, lots of resources, recommended reading, all that fun stuff. All right, so we know the fear and greed indicator, right? Extreme fear. If you're around in April, as we talked about, extreme fear got to 2. Right, that was one of the lowest readings I've ever seen. But it doesn't mean that just because you're down here or up here that the market has to flip the other direction. Just be aware of that, right? Just be aware of that. So again, I personally think, right, the risk reward to the indexes is probably not necessarily to the upside near term, going into August, September, but short term, I mean, chop, slop. I mean, this is why, again, we talk about picking the winners and letting the winners run and trading around them. So again, we'll see what happens here. We know the Fed meeting coming up next week on the 30th. There's no anticipation of a rate cut. So be careful out there. And again, what's the market going to do with that? I don't know. But the closer we get to July 30th and the market's holding up, I don't think anyone's going to do anything until Powell speaks. So Good old Bitcoin. Again, we talked about like needing to see the volume to break out. I was looking at this, and noticed the volume node last week. I'm like, that's not what you want to see at the high, right? You see this long wick, you see this long wick at the bottom, and then it's like, you're in indecision right now, in my opinion. Like if you zoomed out, look at a weekly candle, it looked like indecision. You break out on an indecision candle, essentially, the follow through. It's going to be tough. Again, everybody and their mom loves crypto, right? Like everyone loves to gamble on it. But here's the thing, right? When we talk about volume of breaking out of a downtrend, right? Like you don't see usually sell signals. Oh, come on, show me more data on this. Anyway, I guess they're not. So we'll see here. Again, if you bought the breakout like we talked about, because this is what we talked about, like you don't want to just buy it randomly. You want to trade the extremes, right? Now that we've broken out, your goal, if you own this, is to see it go higher, obviously. But here's the problem. If we come back down to this 112 area, be on red alert. Because it could be a trap, because I'm not seeing the volume of breaking out, right? Like when you see a long consolidation pattern, you want to see volume to the upside breaking out. This is weird. It's not showing the older stuff. But we'll see what happens here. Be safe, be thoughtful, be smart. Again, probability-based game. Again, I think this is the thing, that people never take profits. Your gains are not real until realized. Remember that. Oil, as we talked about, liking this off of the lows here in the mid-60s. It seems very obvious here, right? We broke out on the war stuff. Now we came back to our support levels. Just watching here. Again, I like oil here, right? Does oil make sense in the mid-60s? I think so. Just keep an eye on it. The United States is now pumping a lot of gas. Natural gas, again, this one's a tricky one. This one's been consolidating here. It almost reminds me of like Bitcoin. Like either you buy the lows or you wait for the breakout in the highs. I'm personally just kind of camping out watching. Kumbaya watching kind of thing, just taking it easy. Dollar, as we talked about, ultimately was due to bounce. You're getting the bounce. You're at this 50-day area. Keep an eye. Again, nothing crazy. TLT, again, I'm watching for volatility in these names. Bonds, I've said this for a while. I thought they could be in a chop zone, like play the extremes. Do I think rates are going lower? I think in time, but I could be wrong here. And at this point, it's like, when in doubt, leave it alone. I don't see anything really coming right now. VIX, we talked about, was due for a bounce. You got your bounce, right? We talked about it bouncing up to the, was it the 50-day? Yeah. 20-day, whatever you want to, like that little confluence. Now what? Feel, again, here, let's look at like past summer stuff, right? Like here you go. You had this chop into July, and then you woke up, right? Let's go see some other past summers, right? Oh shit, I guess I can remove that. Did I just swear? Oh shit. Here you go. Like a July, chop, 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 chop. But then you got to bounce. Not much of a bounce, but then you got to bounce in September, right? Like, I don't know near term what the VIX is going to do. I'm not really seeing anything obvious. But I will say, again, this is where it makes sense, right? Like, if you want to buy options, calls, they're cheap. If you want to buy puts, they're cheap. Makes sense. Just be careful on it, because typically the VIX bottoms first, which it has, it looks like, but you're not getting any follow through. So at this point, just know your levels. If you're trading headlines, good luck. Like you're waiting for the headlines to break, good freaking luck. SPYs, we talked about, like, right, chop until the FOMC, you broke out. Now we're just consolidating. I said this earlier last week. I watched that 8 and 10 day. You broke below it, but then you came right back. And if you've been following the channel, we talk about option expiration. It's very choppy. Congratulations. Now the SPY at highs, right? I'm not saying go out just to short, but also would be saying, like, I wouldn't go out chasing longs to go long, right? Like, this is the thing, like Jeff C. Livermore, if you read Reminiscence Summary, just go fishing. Wait for a better setup, right? Like, if you wanted to buy a dip, wait for a bigger dip. I don't know where the fuck it's going to be. If you want a short, well, I guess you have to have a reference and stop making new higher highs. I personally don't have any shorts on right now of any consequence other than cover calls in some names, but at this point, no. Again, option expiration. It said maybe OPEX, TOPEX. We'll see. Tariff stuff coming at the end of the month. Fuck if I know. This is where it's so hard, right? You're looking for certainty in an uncertain game. Good luck. QQQ, and you're going into earnings. You have some data coming up, right? Like, good luck. QQQ seems to be breaking out. It's not pretty. slowly climbing the wall of worry, right? And as long as you hold the 20-day, it looks like the trend is still up. IWM, right? I like the I've said commodities and small caps, commodities and small caps, commodity and small caps, commodity, small caps and commodities. Look at this big consolidation range, right? I think, again, if the big beautiful bill, as they're calling it, again, I don't think it's beautiful by any means, but it's going to be beneficial for businesses, American businesses. Here you go. Here's your long-term investment thesis. I talked about this in April, how Trump, I thought, was going to try to push the America First agenda and that IWM was going to fucking fly. Now, again, it's still playing catch-up because it's been lagging for the last 5 years, but I still think on all major dips, this is the index to own. I'm not even going to go there. I'm catching myself. Gold, as I've talked about, like it's a big consolidation pattern. Everyone's loving buying calls, buying calls, thinking it's going higher. And I personally go, I'm just going to sit here and wait till an extreme pullback because this is a big fucking move. Almost the last 2 years, this thing's gone from 171 to 320. Now, again, not saying it can't go higher. I personally believe it will be higher in time. But do I want to play this chop shit? Fuck no. Now, 50-day is important. But at this point, man, like, no. No. Again, I know, see people, seeing like all the calls and puts going on. Just, dude, I don't know what's going to cause it to go higher at this point, near term, right? Because the Fed, do you think gold's going to go anywhere before the Fed speak? Fuck no. Probably not. So, again, leave it alone. Silver, again, I like silver long term. Talked about this. Seems to be making higher highs and higher lows. Looks better. And gold, GDX, right? We like gold miners long term, but they seem to be stuck. These are the thing. Do you want to play the stuck ones? That's your guess, as good as mine, right? These things have had big moves, so let them consolidate. And again, the summer after July, seasonality for gold kind of gets shitty. We'll see what happens here. Again, the best time to buy it is mid-December every fucking year. I'm telling you. Go back. We have done that video a million times. Talked about it. AEM chopping around. Again, not saying they couldn't go higher this fall, but just watch it. AG starting to pull back, right? A little bit. Newmont, right? Chopping around. This one broke out and gave it back. Look at this. I think they have earnings coming up on Thursday. I mean, these ones are really tough. Not to say they can't go higher, but I mean, just be ready for confusion and traps. That's where I'm not interested in playing that game. Right? We'll see. TSM, let's get into tech. Look at it, hit our trend line, gap up again. I think tech, maybe not Taiwan Semi as much, and maybe a few of the other ones. But again, I think the risk reward is not to your upside long term, right? Micron, a lot of these names played these games. Look at this, pulling back. AMD got the breakout, which looked like, and then it's like, feels more like a blow off top, right? So I mean, I like the SMH short. To me is the make sense. Again, picking Taiwan Semi or NVIDIA. Again, I know Hang Seng or whatever his name sold a bunch of shares last week. I think $38 million. No, my fuck, I don't even want to quote it. I don't even know. New highs, right? That gap, it feels like a gap and trap, right? Like we talked about this if you were playing some of these names. And again, I'm just bouncing around. Let me get through SMCI, a few of these. Look at this, right? Like we talked about the breaking the downtrend, looking good. Intellectual property, I think this thing is stuck going sideways, going nowhere. AVGO broke out to new highs, right? Holding up. Chopping around, keep an eye on it. SMH. So this is where I was talking about wanting to watch this like 290. I said 287 when it made new highs, but now I'm watching back testing old trend line. Again, chopping around. Money flow is not there at all. And so if you want to, again, consult with your financial advisor. If you like the SOXIS, right? To me, it makes sense at 7. Very tight. Right? This thing has gotten absolutely destroyed. Not surprising. It's one of these this ETF decays. So don't sit here and go, oh my God, it's going back to 70 or 50. No. It's probably about to reverse slip. But also like Soxel, right? I think you can short the Soxel around 27, 28. Again, with a $1 stop. $2 stop, whatever you want. Now, will Soxel go back to 7? I doubt it. But if it pulls back 10, 15, 20, 30, 40%, I mean, these deteriorating ETFs are a blessing and a curse if you trade them well, right? I like puts on the deteriorating ETFs, right? So Soxel puts are cheap. Right, you can limit your risk. Say you buy, September 28 puts, 25, whatever. You have your premium defined. And if it goes to a total loss, the goal is not to. Obviously, you get out hopefully before that. But if it's going against you, at least your risk is limited completely. Again, SMH up here looks very interesting and sneaky because, again, I don't think this is what's going to lead. I know we talk about AI, but ultimately in the end, you need inputs. They're undervalued. Now, again, maybe these names do hold up, but I think they're going to see, as we talked about, the commodity names look way better. Adobe, kind of chopping around, not much to say on that one. Applesauce, as I've said, this is a big consolidation pattern. I don't trust this thing at all. Could it go up to the 200-day? Yeah, it just looks like a big consolidation pattern. Leave the fuck alone. I mean, trade it if you like. Amazon seems to be chopping, holding up pretty well. Meta, taking everybody's AI engineers. Retested the highs, backing off. Yeah, I'd be feeling more comfortable like checking that out at like 680, right? I know they have earnings coming up, the 50-day, right? That chop zone, like that to me would be a better, safer buy versus just buying it at the highs to buy it. CRM, this one's been going nowhere, chopping around, looks kind of scary. Guggenheim, right? Seems to be holding up pretty well. I mean, a lot of people are thinking this is like about to invalidate a head and shoulders and it could go higher. Well, okay. Is it a head and shoulders top or is it about to invalidate? If it invalidates, then we know it can go much higher, right? Keep an eye on it. Just again, know your probabilities. Microsoft, this thing's been doing well. Yeah, not much to say there. NDAQs, we talked about shorting up here. Again, I like the short on it long term because I think, again, the Nasdaq is not not the place for funds to stick around into for the long run. Interesting action. I think they had some news on Friday, but look at that, dude. I'm telling you, the 89, 90 area could be a gift. MicroStrategy, right? Bitcoin breaking out to new highs and this thing's not following and this big red fucking bar on Friday. Yeah, we talked about this. Like, it looks like it's a big fucking consolidation pattern. Now, not to say it can't go higher, but I feel like the only way you're getting over this 540 is if Bitcoin goes on another monster run. And it's broken out, but is it going on a monster run? That's the question, right? Are we, here on MicroStrategy? Or are we here? Like, we're going to pull back, like bigger. That's only well, not you, but only you can decide how to react to it. Netflix had earnings. It popped. Now you're pulling back. All right. Again, I talked about, like, look at these names. Like, you want to chase names that have gone nuts. No, I don't. Do not. I do not. And so, again, I tried shorting this. I got stopped out. Congrats to the bears who did have the perseverance to hold. Now it looks like I don't know. It looks topped. Looks like it's topped. Roblox has been a beast. Look at this guy. Woo. Missed this one again at the 200-day miss. I mean, this is one all over the place, but congrats if you bought this one. It looks good. CrowdStrike, right? Seems to be pulling back to the 50-day. PanW talked about this one at the 100, 200-day cross. That was a good bounce spot. Nice. Congratulations on trading. Tesla, again, I know Coop and them showing the calls. It made sense to me. I mean, they have earnings this week coming up. If I remember on Wednesday at the close, we talked about it chopping around, but bouncing probably to, again, could it break out? Right? Musk is not a fan of Trump, or at least perceived right now. So I'd be watching. And I think this one, again, some tech looks better than others. Keep an eye on it. Palantir, speaking of tech, going nuts. New highs, right? Talked about this. Anyone trying to short this thing has gotten their dick cut off. Balls, whatever. I don't know. You can tell me. Insight, again, this is talked about the mid-50s, a buyout target. Remember, healthcare is rather undervalued. We'll see. HIMS, I don't trust this stock at all. Kiss my ass. Again, people are like, oh, you got to get... I'm like, no, they don't have any freaking... Nothing special about this company. Amazon could duplicate them in like they could duplicate them 20 times. They just hit the printer button. Print. I don't think they do anything special. Again, I think the run has been had. Keep an eye on it. Baba, we talked about buying this one near, 104. I didn't. And guess what? It did exactly what I thought it would do. And that's what sometimes you're not going to hit every trade. And I don't sit here and go, oh, you dumb fuck. What are you doing? No. It actually reinforces my belief in myself, right? You're not going to catch every trade, but look at that. It said 104 area. Nice. It's up to 122. Congrats. Again, if you did trade it, hell yeah, leave a comment below. Again, let me know. Brag to me that you crushed it. I want to hear it. McDonald's, talked about some chopping around. I'm just trying to wrap through some of these. Starbucks, we talked about this one's broke the 50-day a couple weeks ago, up to the 200-day ever since it's been consolidating. Airbnb. All right, this one's been chopping around. Keep an eye on it. Coinbase seems to be cooking. However, I will say I saw this... what is this? It's Sunday, so I can't say yesterday. Saw this on Friday. I'd be a little on red alert. after a huge run. That big doji should, again, be careful. Again, it's like MicroStrategy, Coinbase, like Bitcoin, something doesn't look right. We'll see. DKNG again, I think this is a big trading range. I think you could probably start shorting up here. Clearly has a high. I mean, you could, damn, I didn't see that one. DKNG, I'm putting that. You see a 44 to 45. I think you can put a short on. Again, dollar stop and just see what happens. Costco, here's again, like we talk about big leaders leading and then starting to get tired. FedEx, right? This is where I think rotation. People are like, well, the market's going to dump. Money's destroyed. It's like money doesn't get destroyed. It rotates, guys. Someone's always, if you're losing, someone's winning. Remember that. That's how it works. So FedEx, again, this one hit our top perfectly and backed off. Watch the 50-day. 50 days been key. XLF seems to be holding up, right? Like, you're going to see the market dump with the XLF holding up? Nope. Probably not. Hood, we talked about this one being a beast, cooping the boys. You know, we own some of this somewhere. Not somewhere. In some of the accounts. And again, I was looking at this on Friday. I'm like, ugh. I can't sit here and go, it can't happen. But worst case scenario, it pulled back. Been a fucking run. Been a great run. JP Morgan, right? We talked about this, the earnings chopping around. I kind of like this one for a short at some point, but again, I don't know. I think I want to be late to shorting. I've seen Trump pump a market before, right? Like I'd rather see the lower highs. We'll see. Morgan Stanley, Bank of America chopping around again. These names had earnings last week. They seemed okay, chopping around. Carry, right? Like Carry, is it holding up? Seems to be, right? It's hard to see the market dump if junior banks, especially, don't dump. XBI, we talked about this in the mid 60s. Nice bounce. Talked about the 200-day incoming. You got your 200-day pulling back now. I don't know. Consolidate. Who keeping on it? Jets. Another one that's just chopping around. XHB. Look at housing, right? Keeping on it. Because I know how I'm in housing. Remember, I'm a realtor as well, and it sucks. Let's get into the material names. This is where I get excited. I mean, the whole rest of the early in the video, I don't give a fuck about as much as this stuff. To me, at least trading wise, like I don't see any tech worth really trading at this point, right? There's a few little names, like no. So I'd say CrowdStrike, PanW look interesting, Tesla look interesting to me. Other than that, shorting semis, like I don't really get that excited about it. XLB, I do. I mean, I think materials are where the money's gonna rotate. Worth a watch again. Any major pullbacks seem to held the 200-day. Dow, chemical, right? Chopping around. I mean, look at these names, dude. I just don't know when it's game time for them. But again, if you watch the 27, 28 range, I think you can pull the trigger on these and just wait. Patience. Again, remember Livermore said he got paid by sitting on his hands more than trading. That's the truth. GE, again, I don't see any massive spot that I'm identifying worth watching at the moment, but I'd be watching pullbacks. Obviously, Caterpillar making new highs, looks good. Deere seems to be chopping around, right? Chop, fizz. Nucor, this is one of our favorites for the long term. Yeah, looks pretty good. I mean, do the percentages, 105 up to 140, right? That's a 40% return if you would have played that bottom. Way better than some of this other shit people are trying to fucking force trade. Excuse my language. Yeah, I mean, I'd be watching the pullback. I guess I'd be watching that 130, right? Like if you can see, right? Like my biggest thing is if you break out, right? I'm a big fan of a breakout, but then pulling back, right? Like if you could come back, test the breakout, the 200-day, right? I would be there, in my opinion. That to me is a strong point where institutions and money will defend, right? I'd be watching it. Keep an eye on that. It looks pretty, I mean, either way, it's holding up pretty damn well. And this is another one that just been nuts. Now it's pulled back some. Okay. The volume decent. I mean, again, I'd be watching because, again, institutions, will they defend what they've already defended, right? Which would be somewhere around this 34 area. Like it. Vale started pulling the trigger on this one this week. Buying longs, right? Said 200-day, right? 970s. I mean, it's again, how far can it go? I mean, if it drops, 9, right? But do I have to stick around for that? Nope, don't. But when I zoom out, I go, damn. And they got a big dividend coming on August 5th. And Brazil just did a big deal with China. I don't know, worth keeping an eye on. Arrow is another one I like, right? Right around here. Literally, like 14 area. It's been shouting this from the stop. I'm like, hit our upside zone. We bought this down here, sold it. Now looking to reaccumulate. Congrats. Again, trading, managing your positions. FQVLF, we talked about this one at 10. You're welcome. Hits a trend line, backs off. SCCO, again, I like copper stuff. Copper. Look at this. Hey, copper. Look at SCCO, 200-day, 50-day, right? Like, looks pretty damn, like, juicy here, right? And again, this one's been holding up better than some of the other names. Like, it looks like a big consolidation pattern. Worth a watch, right? Freeport McMoran. I like it. I like it a lot, but on pullbacks, this thing has been a beast. I mean, they've got gold exposure as well. Broke the downtrend. Near term, that's a tough one though. Again, I'd like a bigger pullback, but maybe he doesn't get it because it's that strong. URNJ, again, if you bought this one down at the lows, man, in the freaking, I know people bought this in the 11 to 14 range. I did. Now we're just continue to cook. We like it. Oaklaw is one we've been playing. Just one is a trader, one worth trading. If you watch the intraday action, it's amazing, right? Watch it. You know, if we take out this 70 low, I don't know. Could you go to 100? I don't fucking know. I mean, they make no money. I mean, it's like everything else. Like, oh, the valuation. I don't know, but they make many nuclear reactors and for businesses, or not reactors, but power generation. Like, fuck, I don't know. And you can buy it, what they do, and write it off first year for 100%. Who knows? CCJ, again, seems to be holding up. These names have been on fire. So, again, I don't know if I would chase them, but that's the thing. We bought the dips on Oaklaw near 52 to 55 and been trading around it as it goes higher. Congratulations, CF. Man, watch this one, 50-day. Right, 91, 92. These names have been cooking. Mosaic, right? Another one that looks interesting, chopping around, right? These have already cooked some. NTR, worth a watch, right? Chop. SQM, I love SQM. Lithium names, I love it. Now, again, is it going to consolidate or is this a trap? I mean, I don't know, man. Pullbacks, that's all I'm saying. Watch pullbacks. If you zoom out, this thing has been crushed. You're welcome. You can get down here. AA, again, we like AA, had earnings. Earnings were nothing to write home about, but again, I think what people don't realize is the bad news is looking backwards. Talked about the 50-day, right? Up to the 34 area. Looks pretty simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Kalu, right? Another aluminum name's been on fire. MP, we talked about buying this one at the solid 18 to 20 range, and then I'll pull back to 30. Cooking. You see? Does this look way better than some of the tech shit you're following? You bet your ass it does. REMX is another one we talked about buying this one in the 30s. Congratulations. Near term, you're back up near the highs. I've got my alerts. I mean, this is just awesome. I told you guys. Money rotates. You're like, oh, Dan. I'm like, dude, look at these names. I know we got some bounces off the April lows and some of the stuff, but some of these names have gone bonkers. Way better percentages. TMC, again, I think is a good one. It's worth a watch. Cliff, another one on dips. I try to speed up. I apologize. Watch it. Man, commodity names. Oil, again, like oil. Keep an eye on this one. Natural gas. I'm not a fan of the UNG. The KOLD was the short around 30, 31. Keep an eye on it. XOP. Watching this one. Right? Can we break the downtrend? That's the question. These names look like they are consolidating. We talked about the gasoline names typically lead. They're chopping around their recent highs. They've been on fire. They look great, right? They look good. That's good to see. If you want to believe oil and gas, ExxonMobil pull back. I think they had earnings on Friday. Again, we'll see what happens here. Worth a watch. BP is going to get bought out by Shell at some point. Don't get shaken out on this if you're long it for the long term. Occidental. Here we go, right? Uncle Buffett ain't going to lose here. It's worth watching. Man, Oxy at the 50. I think the key, though, for these names ultimately is that you need to see the XOP break the downtrend. Oil start to build a little higher high. Devon Energy, we like these names. Again, keep an eye on it. Chopping around. Apache, talked about trading this one. Man, really good trade. Back down the 100-day, right? Let's say that 18 area I'd be watching. Lyondell Base, I mean, a lot of these names look very similar. 100-day, chopping around. CVE, right? We like this stuff. Chopping around. EQT, right? We like this stuff. Keep an eye on it. Been holding up really well. Oh, solar. Forgot about this one. We like solar, right? On pullbacks, it's been holding up pretty well. I personally don't really like, say, anything other than for solar. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but that's what I like the best. I think it's the safest, least downside. ENPH and Sedge looks a little better, but ENPH, I don't know. First solar here, we talked about this, buying this at like the 160 level. If you did, Congrats. Look at that. Booyah. Nice bounce. If you zoom out, it looks like it's a big base building upon a big base. HYG again, it's going to be hard for the market to dump if corporate debt's holding up, right? And last but not least, Flex LNG, right? Chopping around here at the, working its way up. Again, I've talked about trading this name. Again, they have a big juicy dividend. I like this name, but again, ultimately you have to do the homework. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. I appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. Have a wonderful weekend. If you already have, I guess this is Sunday, but make sure you take time, do your research, know your levels, and do some work on your mind. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.